I see we're always upgrading. And so we're in the process of upgrading and trying out a new way of doing my lives. And so give me a hot second. I'm gonna go and check on our page whether I'm actually live before I start. And yes, I am. Oh my gosh, the joys of technology. Hey friends, how are you? I hope you're all doing well. I wanted today to reflect on something that I know so many of you felt, just as I did, was when we found out about the very untimely death of Chadwick Boseman. Now, I had to really reflect on this because I didn't know him. He was someone that I only knew through his work, through his movies, and yet it was something that I felt so profoundly affected by. And I was actually having a conversation with somebody, and we're reflecting on why it was that I had felt it, she had felt it, and I'd seen based on all the social media posts that so many, literally hundreds of thousands of people had felt it across the world. And it was in going back and looking at actually listening to his speech that he gave at his alma mater, and he spoke about purpose. And I realized in that moment as I was listening to this that I think that's what so many of us were feeling, was the fact that we had literally been witnessing somebody who was so focused, who was walking in his purpose. And he talked in that speech about the fact that purpose isn't easy, that sometimes there'll be challenges, but he talked about the fact that all of those challenges are preparing you for that journey, for you to meet what is your purpose. And gosh, I thought how profound. And I think going back as well recently to watch his work, like at the last few weekends I've spent watching his work. I went back and I watched Marshall, and I watched Black Panther, and I went back and I watched 21 Bridges. And it was so mind blowing to think that in each one of those movies, he was literally in the fight for his life, that he was going through treatment, he was going through discomfort. I'm sure he must have been in incredible pain. But here's someone who was walking in his purpose. And something else that struck me was I really wanted to know, what is the definition of purpose? Because we talk so much about purpose and what is it. So I went to the dictionary, and the Cambridge Dictionary defines purpose as a determination or feeling of having a reason for what you do. And so my question to you today, and my challenge to you is, what is your reason? What is your why? Because here's what I know from looking at people like Chadwick and looking at other people in history that we all admire, is that we all come to this earth with a calling. We all come to this earth with a gifting. We all come to this earth with a thing that is uniquely you, that only you will ever be able to deliver on. And yet so few of us ever fulfill our true purpose, our true calling. So few of us ever step fully into our potential. And I thought maybe that's why so many of us have felt so impacted by the death of somebody who very few of us actually knew in real life. The fact that we'd been witnessing somebody who was so focused on walking in his purpose. And I think it's the reason we admire all of the people that we put up on pedestals that we think are greats. You know, when you think about someone like a Kobe Bryant, or you think about Michael Jordan when it comes to basketball, just because it's playoffs and it's kind of on my mind right now. We look at people, we're watching people who walked in their purpose, who did what needed to be done, regardless of how uncomfortable it was, regardless of how unpopular it was, regardless of what it meant for them to have to sacrifice, for them to walk in their purpose. And so I want to ask you, what is your purpose? What is that thing that you are here to do? And are you letting discomfort, convenience, not feeling like it, lack of motivation be the thing that stops you from fully stepping into your purpose, from you being one of the people that future generations will hear about, who will remember your name, because you were not afraid to do what needed to be done for you to step into your purpose. And as I say that to you, I say that to myself, that we have to let go of the fear. We have to let go of the wanting it to be comfortable, wanting it to be convenient, wanting it to be, for us not to alienate people, to step into our purpose. Because we all have a gifting that only you can bring to life in this time and in this lifetime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for continuing to support this platform. A reminder that we are on Instagram, and you can follow us over on Instagram, Twitter, and our handle on Instagram and Twitter is @Ndini Media. And we also have a YouTube channel where we're publishing lots of new things. And please make sure that you subscribe to our channel, because we're going to be creating some content that is uniquely for YouTube. And also just follow us, because we have so many things that we're so excited to release that we're working on. So make sure to follow us. And thank you again. And please, let's all have the courage to step into our purpose. I'll see you again, same time, same place next week. And now I have to figure out, since this is all new to me, how to disconnect. Have a great week, everybody. Mwah.